Well, I'm here. Um, I doubt anyone's going to show up. If more than one or two people show up, I'll be surprised. For one, I was hella fucking late getting my fucking the review for the Golden Age even posted. And as explained in the video, that's because my shit crashed in the middle of recording it. I actually had um a lot. I had said quite a bit. I had talked a bit about the history of Esham, his influence, his artistry, etc. I had talked a lot about, the albums between his departure from Psychopathic and this new one, The Golden Age. And like right as I was in the middle of talking and recording, boop, the whole screen freezes, video drops out, whatever, fucking. So basically, I'm gonna give this, five, my channel's not very big. It's got less than 400 subscribers. So, um, I'm gonna give this like 5 or 10 minutes, to see if anyone joins. If so, if you do join, you know, let's not make this a one way thing. Let's talk about Esham, the new album, the old albums, whatever. But join in on the fucking chat, say something, so I have something to interact with. Again, I was late getting my review for the Golden Age up because of a technical error, and it just couldn't be helped. My computer was being an asshole, which sucks because I have a really ridiculously high tech fucking laptop that's made for like gaming and all that shit. But somehow it crashed while I was in the middle of recording. Oh well. But yeah, my review for the Golden Age, my full review is now posted. It's I think still premiering maybe. But be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And I see it looks like there's a couple people here. Have you guys checked out the Golden Age yet? The new album? If so, did you like it? Did you not like it? I loved it. If you haven't seen my review yet, I loved it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Thinking it might be a contender for album of the year for me. But I also said, it's the first Esham album I've liked in over 2 decades, more than 20 years. So, and that's not, to throw shade at Esham. I mean, the man made some of my all-time favorite fucking albums. Between Boomin' and Tongues. And I even like Repentance okay. But from A1 Yola all the way up to now, I haven't liked anything really. I mean, I've tried really hard to like it. I've checked out every album, but I just haven't been able to get into it. And it just is what it is. I am not. So we got Magnificent Butcher hasn't had a chance. Just heard it existed a few hours ago. What's the wrestling? Yeah, check it out. It's called The Golden Age. It's up on all the streaming platforms. Again, whether you've liked Esham's output for the last 20 years, um, or not, yeah, I remember when Sacrificial Lambs first came out. There was one or two tracks and all that. I started listening to Esham in 1998, and I have an idea of who Esham is and what he should sound like, I guess. And everything post A1 Yola for me just was not working. I'm not here to talk shit about his stuff that I didn't like. I'm not doing that. I'm not a shit talker. I'm just my personal opinion. It wasn't for me, but the Golden Age to me is honestly the album I most. Your favorite Esham project is For Mayor. I'm not sure if I know what you're referring to on that one, Vincent Vega. If you're so inclined, please enlighten me. But I grew up. Me and my boys, we used to bump "Kill the Fetus," "Closed Casket," "Dead Flowers." Those albums all the time. And this album, "The Golden Age," I think it's closest in tone to "Dead Flowers," Bruce Wayne, that era, maybe Male Dominance a little bit, and a little bit of Tongues. I wouldn't compare it too much to like "Closed Casket," "Kill the Fetus." What's Judgment Day? What's "Closed Casket" and "Kill the Fetus" are kind of, as far as juggalos go, those are like the favorites. Those are the favorite, and I love those albums. Don't get me wrong. But my personal favorites are "Dead Flowers," Bruce Wayne, um, and just that coked out fucking psycho thug era of Esham, where his production, top to bottom. I mean, from every album, from the first album, through today, his production just never fails to impress me, and it's inspiring. I mean, there's nobody in the world who makes beats like Esham. It's like listening to, I don't know, fucking it's like Jonathan Davis, the singer for Korn. Nobody sounds like that guy, unless they're or Freddie Mercury. When you're hearing Freddie Mercury, and when you're hearing a fucking Esham beat. When you're hearing a Nine Inch Nails beat, something like that. It's that level of uniqueness. Um, I said I'd give this, a few minutes for some people to join. We had three, we've gotten down to two now, so I'm thinking maybe we probably won't last long on the late night extravaganza. But I'll give it another minute or two to see what happens. But yeah, I did have a little thing. I was like, well, maybe I should prepare something for this, So I listed my favorite Esham tracks. The essential tracks. I think if you're wanting to get into, let's say you're new to Esham, right? These are the tracks I think you should check out. Give yourself a good taste of some of his finest work. Wake the Dead, Judgment Day, the title track off the album, Sunshine, which Sunshine is motherfucking just such a brilliant song. Cruising Down 7 Mile, that's off of the Homie Don't Play EP. It's a bit of a deep cut, if you will. Magnificent Butcher, glad you're checking it out. Glad you're checking out the Golden Age. Let us know how you're feeling about it. How much is your life worth? That is a deep ass cut. That's off Judgment Day Volume 3, which I don't think you can even find. I don't think you can't find that hardly anywhere except for like on my picks. Okay, that works too. Um, but how much is your life worth? It was on Judgment Day Volume 3, which only came with the Judgment Day box set that came out in like 2006 or 7. Symptoms of Insanity, I Thought You Knew, Slug from a 45, Flatline, Kilogram. Kilogram is off Dead Flowers. So is Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson is a contender for my all-time favorite Esham song, as is Food Stamp. Walking on the Flat Line, the opening track to Tongues, such a great track. Mr. Negativity also on Tongues. That song is ridiculous. I love it. Boom off of Repentance. And for that matter, Violent J goes hard as fuck on Boom too. I produced 30 Gucci purses, Narcissist. I also did that to Detroit and transmission fluid from it. ATP, Moose Boost. Well, I'll be damned. I did not know that. Vincent Vega, I had no fucking idea. I was under the impression Esham was producing all his own shit. I am clearly out of the loop. But congrats, because you're fucking making some dope shit. I mean, that's awesome. Boom. And the last track I had listed was In Detroit. I would also add uh what's it called? Long As I Live off of the End of the World, the Nodus album. Um It's a banger as well. My favorite tracks off of the new one, off of the tracks that I thought were highlights off of Golden Era were or Golden Age, excuse me. My favorite tracks off of that were Golden Hour, um, CEO Killers or CEO Killer, 30 Gucci Purses, Raindrops, um, OMG, Narcissist, and Killing Time. All My Friends Are Dead or AMFD, and those are my favorites off of the new one. Yeah, I agree with Walking on the Flat Line. Yeah, that especially the chorus on Walking on Flat Line. This is a call or give me a call. I'll murder you all, y'all, just to feel the time. That's such a catchy ass chorus, which is funny because I mean, Esham's got like a hook and a groove and a funk about him, but he's not usually so catchy as Walking on the Flat Line. It's you don't usually hear him singing quite so. He's singing well, for that matter. I think. I mean, I don't know. If a technical singer would call it great singing or not, but I think he sounds good. I'd like to hear him do more of that, honestly. But that's just me. I'll tell you a funny story about tongues. This is a true story. Back somewhere circa, well, hold on, let me stop real quick. So, what do you think the most well known song is? People. So, Magnificent Butcher's asking what his most well known song is. If people know Esham's song, what do they know? Like ICP has the game show song for the Ned and game. Okay, yeah. It's funny because I don't run into Esham fans very often. Even the juggalos that I run across aren't well versed in Esham, but I do know Sunshine seems to be a track I've heard people mention. Um and The Wicked Shit Will Never Die is kind of pretty well known in the juggalo world anyway. Uh well, woo woo woo. That definitely is his most like commercially viable track. That is like clearly like if Esham had gone mainstream, this is what Esham would have sounded like if he went mainstream. Woo woo woo. But I mean, I've not really seen woo 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 mentioned a lot in any zeitgeist, today's or prior. That doesn't mean that it's not a dope song. Actually, I like Woo Woo Woo. It's one of the songs off A1 Yola I really dig, but it's I don't know. I don't know what the definitive Esham song is. I would say it might be The Wicked Shit Will Never Die. For me, that's what I would guess anyway. From the LimeWire days, one day. Oh yeah, you know what? You might be right, Butcher, because I remember everybody had labeled back. For me, it wasn't even LimeWire; it was Kazaa. But like, I'm showing my age there. But like, yeah, I mean, fucking everybody. It was. I thought the song was called "Mama Don't Cry" because I didn't have that album yet. And yeah, one day is that's actually one of the more potently emotional Esham songs ever made too. It's just a fucking depressing ass track. Um, but I'll tell you, I was saying a funny story about tongues. I was at Walmart, and this is back when Walmart was open 24/7. And this is like circa 2005 ish, something like that. And Walmart did not sell albums that had parental advisory labels on them. If it had cussing, Walmart didn't fuck with it. They didn't have a problem selling R-rated movies, but albums with cussing, that's a problem. I never understood that. But anyway, I was checking out at Walmart and there was this box, just this cardboard box sitting there full of cassette tapes. And what was in it? But like 12 or 13 copies of Esham's Tongues on cassette. strangest fucking find of my entire life. And I've even got like that's such a strange thing to find that I understand if people don't believe that. I have a friend who was with me when it happened, and we bought every single copy because they were only asking for 50 cents for each copy. So we bought the whole fucking box. And I was not like forward thinking about money as I am now back then. Now I can sell those tapes for a pretty penny on eBay or on, fucking Juggalo trading groups or whatever and shit. But I was just giving them to my friends. Like, fucking, this album rules. You should check it out. Here's a cassette, which is funny because even in 2005, that's 20 years ago, cassette tapes were dead. They were a dead format. So I think most of them didn't even know how to, or maybe they knew how. They didn't have the means to play it. They didn't have a tape deck in 2005. But yeah, I found like it must have been 12 or 15 copies of Tongues on cassette tape for 50 cents a piece at Walmart, and we bought all of them. I'd already had the album. I mean, I'd already owned it on CD for quite some time. It was just such a random ass thing to find at Walmart. It was in the middle of the night. I'm guessing they got some kind of like truck, and like some package had been rerouted by accident, been put on the wrong truck or something. I don't know what happened there, but I do remember one of the people that I gave a copy of Tongues to won, and I gave away every single one of the copies minus like 2 or 3 copies that I kept for myself. One of the people who got it listened to it and loved it and is to date still an Esham fan. So whatever. I always, I listen to a wide variety of music, a lot of strange shit. Juggalo shit's just one facet of music that I'm into. Esham, I don't even consider a Juggalo artist because he predates all that, but I try to turn people into all kinds of shit. But when I can get somebody into Esham, that is like a good fucking day. Because for some reason, and I don't know why, but like everyone I try to get, to show Esham, they are not into it. Like, I remember I had my ex-wife would not let me play Esham around her. He made her uncomfortable. He had this, it's like he was too fucking dark or something, I guess. I don't know. But she was like, his song, and shit off, Kill the Fetus, Dead Flowers, Closed Caskets, what I was playing probably, she was like, he's different than ICP or Twisted or any of that. He makes me uncomfortable. Like, his music makes me feel off. I don't like it. I think his shit is just so fucking potent, that it's like a heavy beer, like when you first start drinking beer, you want to drink like piss water, you're drinking Coors Light and stuff, and the thick, heavy, dark beers, those are scary at first. You realize after, you've given it more of a chance, that's where the flavor profile is in those more viscous fucking fluids, but it's acquired taste. Esham for Mayor was a tape he used all stolen beats, and he raps about running for mayor of Detroit. Pretty much every track. It's only on YouTube. I'll check that out. That sounds interesting. I would love to see Esham be mayor of Detroit, and I'll tell you exactly why. Does anybody here remember? And out of the 3 people watching, does anybody here remember the fairly recent, I'd say a year and a half ago, interview with Esham on that guy's podcast? The guy's from some young kid from Detroit who clearly did not know shit about E. I mean, he didn't know anything about Esham. More hip hop and wicked shit. That's fine. I like both sides of Esham. I like his more street shit. I like his wicked shit. I like it both. But yeah, that interview that kid did with Esham in Detroit, where Esham, like, he clearly knew nothing about Esham, and Esham just fucking ripped that guy. Like, just, I remember at one point he looked at the dude and he was just like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, so this is why I would love to see Esham be mayor. I want to see. I mean, I'm not from Detroit. I'm from North Carolina, so it wouldn't affect me at all. But I would like to see the videos of Esham being mayor and being like, fucking everybody gets coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, yeah, Esham is yeah, magnificent butcher. You saw that too. I've met Esham twice. And both times, once it was at the gathering, once it was at an Esham show. Both times I met him, he was very unfriendly to me. It didn't change my perception of him one iota. I didn't expect him to be friendly. I mean, anybody who meets Esham and is surprised that he's not like super personable has not paid very close attention to his music. He comes off as a pretty, don't fuck around with me kind of guy. He wasn't mean to me or anything. I could tell he was like, man, get the fuck out of here, dog. I don't care. Whatever, dude. Dismissive, I'll say. In the gathering, I was trying to get a picture with him, and I was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he was like, "Yeah." But he was on a golf cart, and he kept moving the golf cart back and forth when I was trying to take the picture. And I was like, "I can't take the picture." And he just goes, "Move with the cart. This is Hollywood." I have no idea what that means, but I was never able to get the picture. He just drove off on the cart. He didn't give a fuck about that. Which, again, this didn't like. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to cry about that. Um, uh, that's exactly what I would expect from Esham is for him to be a dick like that. So I always thought, honestly, that's probably a better experience than him being nice and just taking the picture with me. I got to meet the real deal. That's Esham for you. Yeah, good outlook. He shouldn't be in that. Yeah, exactly. If I met Esham, he was all like, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" I'd be like, "Well, this is a fake ass motherfucker," In the events where he showed up for 1 minute, got what he wanted, and left. Yeah, what I was at an event one time. I wasn't talking to Esham, but I could see him. He was very close to me, and someone was trying to talk to him, and he clearly didn't want to talk to whoever they were. And I don't know what was exchanged. I just know that at one point Esham started laughing hysterically, like like full belly laugh, and then stops and goes, "Man, I will kill you for no reason." And the guy took that as the hint that it was and left. I just remember being like, "God damn, do not fuck around with Esham." Um, But yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be friendly. It's like, Sid Vicious from fucking the Sex Pistols. You wouldn't expect that guy to be friendly either. Um, but either way, he's still a hip hop hero to me and a legend. It's tragic to me. It's fucking tragic how underrated he is. Like I have tried so many times to get hip hop fans, people who like underground hip hop even to get into Esham, and all of them just come back with, "Man, it's Juggalo shit," and I'm just like, "No, it's not." Like this predates Juggalo shit by a lot, and also Esham's got his own vibe, his own flavor. Like he's not like ICP or Twisted or Blaze or any. I mean, he's very very separate from that. He was on Psychopathic for a bit, but like that was clearly, not a good fit because he left Psychopathic fucking pissed off. He didn't. I remember at the time he was not happy with his time as Psychopathic. They've since mended things. I'm glad they have, but I remember at the time he was pissed the fuck off. Esham is a hip hop pioneer. His impact on hip hop is bigger than the Juggalo world. Yeah, exactly. It's much bigger than the Juggalo world. I said that in my review that I just posted. His influence is insane. But here's what I think is the problem with Esham, and it's not a problem with him personally or anything, but like Esham is a musician's musician. Like I'm a rapper. I make music. If you make music, if you are an artist, an actual artist, you're probably gonna find something in Esham you like. But if you're not someone who creates, your Esham is gonna be a harder thing for you to understand. He's harder to comprehend. Uh, he's not as accessible to people who aren't really creatively driven. I think that is where, you know, that's why he's not as big as he should be. And yeah, he is tough to market because he's so fucking dark and he's so candid. He does not hold back, and that's one of the things I like about him. There's that saying of, "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing." That doesn't apply to Esham. You can not start anything at all. If Esham don't like you, he'll get on the mic and be like, "By the way, I don't like you," and he'll start shit. And that's just the kind of guy he is. He's been doing it since he started. He's and fully hostile towards everyone. That's a sellout, fucking just content, just fucking marketable content. Mr. Negativity being a good example. I ain't got shit positive to say about any rapper on the mic today. That's Esham, and that's a hard thing to market because you're alienating a lot of people who listen to mainstream hip hop. Um, I listen to a little bit of mainstream hip hop. Not new mainstream. I don't even know what new mainstream hip hop is. It all sounds like robot sounds to me. I don't know what the fuck half of that shit is. But like when I was younger, mainstream hip hop, I liked shit like Busta Rhymes and Nas, whatever. But fucking not much. I did not. For the most part, I hated the pop side of hip hop, which I blame Diddy. I blame Diddy like a motherfucker for turning hip hop into pop. That guy can suck a dick. Magnificent Butcher, thanks for tuning in, bro. And hope you enjoy the new album. I think I'm gonna call it a night as well. We got to talk a little bit. Lasted about half an hour. Lasted longer than I thought it would. If you guys want any more Esham content, let me know. I'd love to get Esham on here one day and talk to him, one on one. Get an Esham interview, talk to him about the new album, maybe something like that. I doubt that'll happen, but it'd be cool if it did. Thanks for watching, everybody. The wicked shit will never die. East Side hoes and money.